time to go viral. I'm homicidal, I'm killing all my rivals. I'm the man, shit, I put that on the Bible. I Spotify my target, cause you know I got the title. Hey, I'm a Mac 2. I told baby shake that ass like she Apple. She said it's real, so she got my name tattooed. House full, so I hit it in the back room. Oh, baby said she needed nail, peep the urgency. I want a little Kim before she had the surgery. Leg spread on that hardcore poster. She love twerking, she just do it for the coach. Big dog, bull massive. 6 tray Chevrolet, I'm classic. All these niggas mad at me, that's tragic. The main bitch in the bed, that's graphic. Yeah, we about to go viral. Hey. We about to go.
Collab the one, man, and I'm back with the Viral Way podcast. You already know the deal. We tapped in. It's Sunday. We feeling good. We about to get into some shit. Again, I'm your host, Collab the one. If you guys are watching this, please like, subscribe, man. Thank you for the love, for the hate. It's all support. Go ahead and pass it off to the homies, man.
What's the deal, people? It's your boy, the one and only, your host that do the most, Mr. Viral himself, a.k.a. the villain, because they hate me for my opinion. We are back with another collab with my boy, you feel me? My man, Cali the one, Disorderly Konduct. Y'all already know what's going on, man. Y'all should be in tune by now. Y'all already know we finna have some high-powered shit going on. Whenever we group up, just know, put your thinking cap on, because we got some high-powered shit coming your way. As always, I got the one and only.
Man, Messiah the Great. You already know we're going to lead the way every time.
We leading the way, man. Come on, man. Thank you for having us again. You know, it's always a pleasure, always a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
You feel me? With this meeting of the minds we done orchestrated and got going, we getting a lot of positive feedback and making a lot of waves in the community.
For real.
You feel me? From social media to real life. Like,
for real,
these episodes, people reaching out like, man, thank you.
They fucking with it, bro. And I'm glad because, you know, we've already talked about before, you know, linking up as black men and instead of going against each other, helping each other out, helping each other grow. And I'm glad we just sticking to it. You know, we really being examples. And so I fuck with that, you know. I was just at y'all spot a couple days ago. So y'all will see that on YouTube too. It was a cool little episode. So we just gonna keep
finally
it going.
Got a home game. We usually feel me on the way side. We finally got a home game. You dig?
Yeah, man. So what y'all want to start with? What y'all got?
Man, we can get right into it today. Look, before we get into the serious topic,
go ahead.
Let me just get this out the way because it's minor. It ain't too serious, but I feel like it's getting out of control, man. This American tip culture. I feel it needs to end. I don't know how you guys feel. I want to get y'all opinion on it, but it's getting kind of crazy. Like, it used to be just, you know, if you got some phenomenal service, it's like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. They doing a hell of a job. Let me tip them all. I know they ain't getting paid that much. Now it's like damn near mandatory where they fuck around and got AI delivering your food. You tipping AI at this point. Like, I went to go pick up some coffee. You're pushing a button. Yeah. Do you want to tip? Hell no, I don't want to tip. Like, I get behind the counter and do it my damn. I push the button my damn self. Right? Yeah. So where do y'all feel the limit is? Because I do feel good service does deserve a tip, but I feel like people get entitled and they just feel like they should get a tip just for doing their job, period. And then you got regular working class citizens like, hey, I'm doing my job every day. Don't nobody give me a tip. Exactly. You feel me? Or people that deliver your food doing the Uber Eats and this person might not really even got it. He might just got enough just for the Uber Eats. Exactly. And they upset. They don't leave a tip. I done seen people spitting people food. I done seen people kick people orders over. Type like of shit, huh? Really going crazy. And it's like, when you really think about it, you're blaming somebody that's probably in the same financial position as you or less. How about we end the tip culture and get on these corporations to pay you more, even out this pay? Like, why are you mad at me for not paying you more, but you not mad at the owner of your company for not paying you peanuts? Like, how y'all feel about that? I think that's true. I think I've always said that. Like, me personally, I would never work a job that solely relies on tips. You get what I'm saying? Or tips is a big part of what I bring home, because I just don't think that is I don't think it's substantial enough, right? Because it's all based off of you, but then on like how you kind of saying, it's also based off of what's going on in the economy. People who want to go out to eat, enjoy time with their family and friends, loved ones, they might not have enough money. They might only have enough money to get in the door and get what they need to eat. They might not have money to tip. That's why it's called a tip, because it's extra on top. So it's like people got to stop being entitled, and that goes into the whole just America as a whole. People feeling entitled now to certain things that really you're not entitled to. So I'm not really with it. I mean, I'll tip, like I said, if the service is good, but if I don't have it,
then I'm not gonna tip. And me personally, I'm not gonna feel bad for it.
Right.
Because I'm just like, you still getting your hourly, and then on top of that, you're gonna bring home more tips or whatever the case is. So I think it's bullshit. And I definitely think it's bullshit when you gotta like go in the store or you go in a restaurant, you pick something up over the counter, you pay, and it's like, do you want to tip? You look down and you look up. She right there looking at you like, funny because you're not gonna tip. And it's like, well, no, I'm not. I'm just coming in to pick it up, you know? So I think we gotta stray away from it. And people got to pick better jobs. If you want more money, go somewhere where you make more money. Don't, you know what I mean? Don't go where you got to rely on that.
I think it's the expectations of getting the tip is what's getting people even frustrated. I think like you said, just do good service. 9 times out of 10, somebody gonna look out for you anyway. But trying to demand somebody, that's damn near gonna bring the opposite effect out. Like,
yeah, like what you mean?
Man, you ain't finna make me tip you. So it's like, I think some people do deserve tips, depending on their customer service, depending on how they do what they do. But like I said, just allow it to come naturally, because not just tipping in when it comes to restaurants or things like that. I might gotta say for my nephew, I have him do something for me, and he do it in a good service. I might give him more than what I thought in my mind I wanted to give him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So tipping don't just go in those aspects. I think it's just in the reality of life. You might look out for people, especially if you're in a position that does have it. You're gonna naturally look out more. You know what I mean? But like you say, just going to certain spots and they despising you because you want to pay what the amount of the food say it is, and they want more. That's on you. You get a tip, you don't. Stop just trying to demand that shit.
Because I feel to be the most valuable to the world, you have to provide a service. Mm-hmm. So if you don't provide a service, I mean, you really have no value. And to be a server, that is extreme value. We look down on it because like, oh, you work fast food, or you do that. But like realistically, just think about the service that they do. You're literally getting food at your front door because you're too lazy to go get it. You know what I'm saying? Or it's an inconvenience to go get it. So I feel like we need to raise their pay overall to where they don't have to survive off tips, because you'll get guilt tripped like, man, you know they got to survive off tips. And it's like, okay, cool. We know that, but why are we guilting ourselves and not looking at the overall umbrella of why is this way? Yeah. Like, why are you working a service, slaving, serving other people, but you have to survive off of these people? Like, you paying your bills is dependent on the customers and not your company. Yeah, it should be on your company. Then if you get extra tips for being a good person and a good service to people, they're like, damn, that's extra. But your bills is gonna get paid regardless if nobody tips you at all. Yeah. I mean, inflation is the highest ever been damn near in history. So a lot of people do not have extra money. A lot of people's overhead is more than what they even bringing in. So people is scraping up shit just to get by, and they ain't got $1 to give somebody else.
It's like they play a cold game. Like, they be in a boss position, but it's like, well, I'm gonna pay you enough to where you need me, but I'm gonna pay you enough to where you can't leave me. Exactly. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna keep you just right there with my foot on your neck, and then every now and then you might complain. I might give you an extra 50 cents on top of that 16 you making, that 16.50 or something. So I think it's by design of what they doing. You know what I mean?
No, I think, and I know like certain restaurants they'll have gratuity shit like that where it's already, the tip is already included. So, and like we saying, you know, to the Uber Eats workers, DoorDash, Postmates, all that shit, y'all need to go and get on them for real, because when you think about it, you making $9 to go drive 3 miles and gas is $5. Come on, like you already done lost. Yeah. So it's like y'all gotta figure it out, man. And maybe we need to boycott it or something. But in my opinion, like, it's not a stable job. You gotta work more time than somebody would working 40 hours a week to make the same amount of money. And it's really, to me, it's just a scam. And then anything about when you think of Amazon or Uber Eats or these types of corporations that are entrepreneur, like these private businesses, the entrepreneur, the business owner is always going to try to cut corners to make more money at the top for them to put back into the business. So when you see these corporations like that, the people who suffer the most are the employees, because it's like, well, you know, we're going to give them what we got last after we break down advertising, promotion, fucking whatever. You know what I mean? So I think that's how it goes. So if you are working in those jobs, shit, I really don't know what to tell you, you know, because you're choosing it. Nobody's telling you to go and get this type of job. So, I mean, that's kind of how I look at it. If I got it, I'll tip. If I don't, then hey man, you gonna have to get to the next house.
I think it go back to what Viral was saying, just in general, like the minimum wage of the cost of even regular jobs is damn near triple the living worth. You know ridiculous. What I mean? So even if you're not making 20 something an hour, you still not in a position to even acquire enough to keep you in a position of flow of you being happy or content with something.
Yeah,
right. And see, people gonna call me a conspiracy theorist for this, but I always try to look for a deeper meaning in things other than what's on the surface level. I think even if it's a small smidget of truth in this, I believe it's also part of the divide and conquer. It's okay, you got this, the service people are hating certain demographics because certain demographics are known for not tipping, right? But then these same certain demographics are at the bottom of the scale economically. They're at the bottom of the totem pole. They really ain't got nothing to tip. So when you see certain marginalized groups come into your restaurant, you're like, oh my God, them again. Because you know 9 times out of 10,
they're probably not gonna tip.
The last 5 didn't tip, but then you never look at their lifestyle, and they probably had to work and save just to be able to provide their family for this simple experience. Now, me being a part of these marginalized groups, you feel me? I go out of my way to tip now, just to make up for the image of us not tipping. Like, blacks don't tip. So if the service is even decent, I'll leave a tip. Just for in their mind, the next black family that come can get some good service. Even if they don't have it and they don't tip. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they just keep us fighting on every level.
Any little thing.
Every level. It's now we coming in with an attitude because the server is living off tips and came up short on their bills last month because they didn't get enough tips. So now they getting shitty service. Out of them getting shitty service, you on their ass, and then you getting the managers involved, the manager on there. It's just one big cycle of keeping everybody
fighting.
Just fighting, you know what I'm saying? Separated.
I never even thought of it like that, but that's really true. I think especially when they get big parties, they like, man, you know, all this service is going to be provided and then no tip. So I never really thought of it like that. And it's crazy how that is connected. You know what I mean? Because it's true, right? Like at the same time, you looking at these marginalized groups, it's like, oh man, they not going to tip without thinking about what they have to go through or what kind of jobs they're offered or what kind of jobs they can get, education, economics, bills. It's a whole lot of shit that goes into if you don't tip or not. I don't think it comes down to just if I'm a good person or not. And I think too many people are trying to make it that. Facts. And it's definitely more than that.
Facts.
I think if you get to a point where you do tip, I've been saying this lately, like I started trying to change it up to tip before everything to ensure better service. You know what I mean? So it's like, damn, if you tip them off the dribble, they down there be waiting at your table for you to help you. You know what I mean? Here, let me get that water for you. Yeah, let me do this and do that. So if you know you're going to tip, it's probably best to tip ahead of time if you are out to eat or something like that. I would suggest that. Other than that, but don't feel bad for not tipping, especially if you ain't got it. Don't go broke trying to look like something.
Yeah, then be home and not have your phone on or something. Yeah, because you didn't tip. That's ugly. Don't do that.
Yeah, for sure. So, we got to change the culture. Like I said, we're going to end it on that. We got to change the culture. Let's start holding these corporations accountable for this pay. If I'm working for your company and providing a service, pay me what you owe me. You feel me? Pay me a livable wage. Don't leave it on the public. It's not the public's job to pay somebody else's bills. I'm working for your company. Your company's making millions and billions of dollars. Pay me a wage that I can live and survive off of, where I can come to work happy every day and want to work for you, want to provide this service. You feel me? So let's change that shit.
Hold on, let me say one more thing. But you think it's partly our fault to agreeing to that? Because we agreed to the terms of working for these people.
That's kind of
absolutely. Like Kelly was saying, you're signing up for it. So at that point, you're not a victim. Don't complain about these low wages and don't guilt trip the customers like, oh my God, we survive off tips. Well, you should have negotiated that.
Exactly.
If y'all feel that way, boycott, do what y'all got to do, stand down, say we ain't providing no more service. Let's talk about this pay until y'all get y'all shit right.
Real shit. That's real shit.
Yeah, you feel me? But moving on. What you got for us, man?
Y'all know what I want to get into, man.
Let's get into it. Hey, you know I'm ready. I got the. I'm ready. I'm loaded. I'm locked and loaded. Let's get into it.
So a movie just came out on Netflix a little while ago by the name of They Clone Tyrone. Got Jamie Foxx in it. It got I want to say his name is John something like that, Boyega, something like that. He was in Star Wars as well and other things, Woman King, stuff like that. And it's a really good movie. it's pretty much about a drug dealer, a pimp, and what would you call her?
A 304.
She was a
A
prostitute.
304, right?
She was a 304.
And they are pretty much, you know, they get hip to this conspiracy that's going on in their town about how, you know, they're clones under the town, and then they got to pretty much go and save the day. A lot of symbolism in this movie, right? Obviously, as we know. I kind of wanted to get into that. And what do y'all think about the movie as a whole? And kind of like, what do you think is showcased about our culture? You get what I'm saying? Like, that's the main question I have for y'all.
Look, man, let me kick this off. Because this movie has so many layers. I only watched it once. This one of the movies you got to watch 2 or 3 times to catch everything. And it's crazy the timing of that movie because, what was it, the second collab we did? We just talked about how frequencies are being like used to control. Everything in the movie, we damn near talked about in that episode. So it kind of was like the universe was like perfect timing. We just talked about this. Yeah. But man, it was so many layers from the actual cloning people and, you know, all the rumors of how they cloning celebrities, and then Jamie Foxx go missing, and then all of a sudden he popped back up and people are, oh, it's a clone, and he's starring in a movie.
Y'all seen that?
You know what I'm saying?
I thought that was crazy too.
So it's like, okay, is he cloned or is this great marketing? It's like, it's hard to tell because it's Hollywood. But I think everybody is only paying attention to the physical cloning of people. But I think the message was deeper as in our culture itself is creating the clones. Like the rap music, the food, and they showed how, you know, they're putting stuff in the food to drive people crazy and make them act a certain way. And it go like, my mom made me think about this because I didn't even think about it watching the movie. He was like, man, it's in the chicken. She go, man, they did that shit with the Popeyes chicken sandwich because who in the world would unalive somebody over a damn chicken sandwich? You saw, that was the craziest I ever seen people act over food. People was ramming their cars into the drive-thru trying to get in front. It was like they was under mind control. Damn. And then the movie, you see people under mind control. They showing how they putting chemicals in the hair products and just everything in lower class incomes to create these people. Like at the end of the movie, they showed the dude on the West Coast and he was looking at the dude in Memphis and they was like, that's you. You're the same person. That's you. You're the same person. And it's like, not literally the same person, but we gang banging on the West Coast. You got street cats down south in Memphis living the same lifestyle, doing the same thing. Only thing different may be the accents and the street names, but you basically a clone. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You're basically a clone. That how they show how the parents is never at home. They had the recording of the mom in the room, and then he finally opened the door, and moms ain't in there. Same thing over here. He walking past the room, moms ain't in there. What he doing? The same thing every day. Go to the liquor store, get homeless dude some liquor, go mess around with the 304, and it's like this culture is in every region purposely. And then they had the white dude break it down when they had the big meeting, and he was like, yeah, I control what you do. Like, dude had the gun. He like, point it at yourself. Point it at her. Put it in her mouth. And I just think about that like, damn, they got us unaliving each other without having to really say anything. It's like, what are we doing? Pointing the gun here. Pointing the gun at ourselves. Like, we're doing exactly what they're saying, and they're making money off it. Like he said, for us to stay where we are, we need y'all to be here. You feel me? So, yeah, I could go for days, but I'm going to let y'all get y'all shit off. You feel me? But, man, it's layered. How you feel about that, Messiah, man?
Nah, I'm gonna let
I feel like, you know, even deeper than just our culture, it was showing how people in general are being controlled, right? Like, when you look at the hair products, when you look at what's in the food, when you go and look at the ingredients on the back of a cereal box or just anything, the little ingredients, you know, and all of them that make up what we're eating is poison, all of it, right? And then on a deeper level, obviously, it's fucking with your mind. You know, fast food, hair products like they was putting in there, it's burning, it's fucking your shit up. And it makes you wonder too, because before all of this, how were they getting clean? What were they eating? You get what I'm saying? What were they ingesting? What were they listening to? What were they doing? There weren't phones and AirPods that are giving people, you know, cancer, things like that. It's all these different things that we have now that has made us more civilized, even though it has kind of damaged us a lot in a way. I think one of the major parts too that I liked about They Clone Tyrone was a little boy, because it shows how, you know, he looks up to Fontaine, and Fontaine don't really want him to do it. He don't want him to be like him, but it's already kind of like set in the little dude's mind, and he's gonna take, you know, on in his footsteps regardless. And I think that was an important part about how these clones, you know, how they turn the little kids into clones too eventually, because that's what we're looking at when we're growing up, and then we literally emulate and do the same exact thing, you know, the self-hate and shit like that, and the killing each other and the selling drugs and all of this vile shit that, I mean, where we are today as a generation, it sucks, you know, and as a culture, it sucks. But when you really do look at it, you know, they had to put some comedy in it, but it's true. We control and we clones. You know, what they do is they put a lot of these rappers or even ball players, whoever, at the top, and that's who we strive to be, you know, and these are the people that we can consider clones, right? Because a lot of us take our image after Pac. We take our image after Nip, or we take our image, and those are good guys, I'm saying, but we take our image after, you know, the hood nigga on the block that, you feel me, always got the work, nice cars, nice clothes, all the bitches. We take our you know what I mean, our words from these people, and we emulate it. And so, and I think everybody does that, right? Because you got fucking cops, firefighters. These are clones too, believe it or not. Like you go and you get into this job, and before the job, you were a certain type of person. You get in a job, now you're a different type of person.
Facts.
You wear a different type of shit. You listen to different things. So everybody is emulating something. It's deeper. It could go even into brands and why we get what we get, because we're a part of certain things and we want to be seen as these people who have these things. But I thought it was just really deep, and I liked how he picked a drug dealer, a pimp, and a 304. Because I think right now that's what's the most prevalent. Maybe it's what's always been the most prevalent in our societies. But I mean, I feel like a lot of women want to be the 304 today.
Oh my God.
Right? Like, and in the dudes, we either want to be the drug dealer or we want to be the dude with all the hoes. So it's like, and it's all, we've all seen it to be something that we can monetize. And so I think that's where this movie was headed. And it was really deep, man. It was just like, it was crazy. It's a lot. I want to keep breaking it down, but I wanted you to go ahead and touch on how you felt about it.
So first, I want to shout out to 19 Keys because I watched they episode and they spoke on the same thing, but they broke it down so cold that I can't even remember all that. I'm not going to just feedback off of them. Mm-hmm. But go back to what you was just saying. I feel like it's deeper to a point, like they say the clones, right? So it goes back to the things, how we talk about programming minds and doing certain things. So if I'm programming a mind and the masses are thinking a certain way, we have what they call the mirror neurons in our brain. Mm. So that's where the terms birds of a feather flock together. So if we have these mirror neurons in our brain, when you get around a certain mass of people, you start to become like these people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's where the cloning thing starts from the beginning as a young age. If you're around a group of type of people, regardless of what you're doing, you're going to become like these people. That's and now fact. You're instantly cloning. No, and nobody can get away from this because that's just how the mind's already going to work. Mm. So if you get around, like they say, 4 broke people, you're going to be the 5th, or 4 rich people, you're going to be the 5th. So it just depends on what type of morals and principles that people are standing on. And if they programming us the way they want us, naturally the masses is going to follow suit like this. And then when you do get the individual thinkers, we're going to make them crazy. We're going to make them the opposite of what you need to be. You know what I mean? So
yeah, my boy made a good point in the live. He said drug dealers, 304s, and pimps, they got a status in our community. Mm-hmm. So we want to reach that status. So naturally you start to emulate these people because you're like, damn, look at the love they getting in the hood. Like you said, the little boy that was looking up to him, like, man, I want to be like you. Give me some packs. Like, I'm trying to reach that status. But like he was saying, you are the sum of the 5 people you hang around the most. This is why you can take a square from Delaware and take him to the hood. Have him hanging around with the homies for a couple months. You're going to see a complete shift. Yeah. He's going to turn into one of them. So like he said, there's no getting away from it. You're going to be cloned. Like, it does not matter. It's just, what are you going to be cloned by? Are you going to be cloned by the failure, which they got us on that perpetual cycle to fail? Or are you going to get around the success and clone yourself after success? Now, there is obstacles, and there is, like they said, they got the mental warfare where they're programming you subconsciously. You don't even realize you're being programmed. They got the biological programming. They putting shit in your food and chemical and all chemically and the fucking
chemtrails.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of obstacles, but at the end of the day, your mind got to be stronger than all of that, and we can't just play the blame game forever. It's like at this point, we know what's going on. So what are we gonna do to make the change? We know what's going on. They putting it in our face. They put it in the movies. They let you know this is what we're doing. So at what point do we wake up? Like in the movie, he tried to get out, but he couldn't. It felt like he was trapped. Like he was going crazy. Like he thought he finally got out, woke up, like, what the hell? I'm still here. Yeah. And I think that's how a lot of us feel. And he's like, damn, I cannot get out no matter what I do. And we just succumb to the circumstances. Like even when he got shot up, and Jamie Foxx like, I saw you get killed. Yeah. Ain't no way. I think that was like a subconscious, like an underlying meaning, like, okay, one of y'all get hit, we just gonna replace y'all with somebody else that's real quick. It's like a clone. It's like a gang member gets shot. Like, okay, gang member got hit today. What's the difference? It's 1,000 more of y'all. It's like,
don't take it that serious.
Y'all all the same. Like, you feel me? Y'all all clones. Man, that movie was layered.
But it's crazy. They said the only original one was the one at the end. The one sitting on the couch. They said he was the original, and everybody else, even the movie when we was watching from the beginning, they was all the clones. Like,
and I thought too, I think what's crazy too is how they have cloned, and I would even say programmed so much for where you have the independent free thinker, you know, the clones become an army against him almost. You know what I mean? And they kind of stop them from progressing. And I think a lot of it, you know, is if you break out of that way of thinking, because some of us are lucky enough to be born a certain way and you know, so happen to stumble upon this way of thinking. But I think that if you were, and if everybody was to break out of it, a lot of people are scared to, because it's a whole nother side of the wall that's unknown, right? And I think so is fear. And so I think that's why a lot of us, you know, form an army to stop these free thinkers and independent thinkers who are trying to do better, or we make fun of niggas or whatever the case is, call shit corny, because it's like we don't want people to break out. You know, we don't want to break out ourselves. We feel like we can't do it, so we project our fears onto others. And I feel like that's kind of how Fontaine was for a second. He kind of was just like, man, I'm back in this shit doing the same thing, but, you know, how am I going to get out? Like how you said, you know, and I don't really know what's on the other side. You get what I'm saying? That's a fear. And I hope us as a culture, we kind of break away from that fear. And we got to understand that, you know, the unknown to a certain degree is something positive. It's good. It's not necessarily that means that something negative is going to come from it, but we got to understand that, you know, on this side, shit is bad, and we got to be stronger, be wiser, and understand that we do got to take that leap to the unknown to at least see where we can go and where we can end up. And I think that's what they're taking a chance on, is that if we keep all these obstacles here and also build this army against y'all will never cross over to see what's the unknown. And so I think that was a big part of it too. You know, in the movie, it was very easy. He routed all the gang, you know, all the members up, and they came and shot everything down. But in real life, it's not that easy. It's not that simple. And so I hope, you know, in time we're able to see that we're our own worst enemy, because that's also kind of how I felt about it. And once we can see that and move on from that, we can get to the other side of the wall. And I think there's greatness on that side.
Look, let me read this super chat. Good looking on a donation. Pan-Africanism Strikes Back. He said, we got us doing that. Stop blaming white people. They're trying to build and produce. They're giving you the info you need to do that. So like, it goes back to what I was saying. Like, we got all the information. We know what's going on. At this point, we're choosing to be victims by perpetuating the lifestyle, by perpetuating being, quote unquote, a clone of failure. Yeah. It's like, there's only so long you can blame the man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, maybe we didn't know, but now we got phones here that are equivalent to this laptop in your pocket.
All types of shit.
You can see the information live at the drop of a dime. Like, you know what I'm saying? The speed of light. So how do y'all feel about that as far as people choosing to be a victim at this point? Like, do you feel people are choosing it, or do you feel like it's just so hard to overcome they don't have an option?
I think two things. I think both can be true. I think people are choosing to be victims due to the technology, the books, you know, the education that we have. And not only that, the examples that we have of people getting out and being successful in a multitude of things, not just rap and ball, you know what I mean? We got a whole bunch of people. So it's true that we can choose what we put our eyes to, what we put our ears to, you know, what we talk about, what we ingest. But at the same time, it's kind of like, it's hard to say that because, you know, if you don't apply something, then it's not really useful. And so I feel like we have all of this stuff, you know, technology and phones and shit like that. But at the same time, what's being put in front of us is not necessarily thought-provoking or going to make us challenge or be better. So I think that's another thing that we have kind of broken into, or maybe not the white man, but the elites or whatever you want to call it have put in front of us is the sexy reds and the shit like that on the phone. Because first it was just in the neighborhood, but now you can ingest it 1,000 videos a day. You know what I mean? Now you can look at it 1,000 videos a day. Not only that, just looking at 1,000 videos a day, consuming porn, fast food, all of this shit keeps a lot of niggas in their seat anyway. So you could sit up here and watch, you know, 50 entrepreneurs a day, but how many niggas are actually going to take that knowledge and apply it? And that's partly to themselves, but it's partly the way that these things like social media, fast food, porn cripples us in our mental and also our physical, our testosterone and things like that. And it physically stops us from doing it as well. But I lean more to the side of like us as grown men, you know, we have a choice to make. Do you want to be a man that's in a game or you want to be on the sidelines? What kind of nigga do you want to be? You know, and at some point you have to make that decision. I want to know better. I want to do better. You know, my family got me this far. I want to take us a little bit further. And if you don't consciously make that decision, then you're never going to get there. And when you're 30, 40, 50 years old and, you know, you have perpetuated the same type of nonsense that somebody has before you, and now you got children and they're doing the same thing, what is you going to tell them? It's the man? It's the white man that is the reason why I can't get you these shoes, or it's the white man why, you know, at that point, they're going to be looking at you like, no, it's you. It's you. So we got to do better. We definitely have a choice to do better, but I do think that it's harder. It's easier said than done.
That's a fact. Let me take my glasses off. You feel me? So they can see my eyes when I say this. Shout out to Jamie Foxx. Shout out to everybody that has something to do with that movie. That was deep. It was thought-provoking. I feel like it was what the culture needed. So shout out to y'all. But I think a big way of getting out of that cycle of everything you was just talking about is having the power to say no.
That's a good one.
Having the power to say no. The power to say no is damn near like a superpower. Like, you know what I'm saying? A big part of success and just being a man, period, and an adult, period, is having discipline. Yeah. And the only way to have discipline is to be able to say no to certain things. Because we all know everything that is the worst for us feels the best to us. You know what I'm saying? And the things that are the best for us damn near feel the worst for us. You know what I'm saying? From eating healthy to exercise to spending, not spending, to saving and investing money. It's like you want to pig out. You want to snack. You want to eat whatever the hell you want with no regard. Terrible for you. You want to spend your money recklessly. Terrible for you. You know what I'm saying? You want to indulge in alcohol and drugs and porn and everything that feels good damn near leads you to destruction. So if you don't have the discipline to say, nah, I'm good. Somebody try to pass you a pill, nah, I'm good. Hey, let's go, you know, your wife tell you, hey, let's go blow $3,000 in Gucci store and then y'all got to pay rent next week. Nah, no. Or your kid wants you to buy a $200 hoodie and you like, man, your phone bill $200. You want the hoodie or your phone? You got to be able to say no in life. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel most people are like yes men. They're scared of the ridicule or the feedback or the backlash of saying no. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you on the block, you got 8 homies, 7 of them join the gang. Naturally, the peer pressure, you're going to join too.
Probably, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's that one kid that had the power to be like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm going to basketball practice.
Change his whole life.
I'm going to football practice. Change his whole family life. And then you look at where they ended up. 9 times out of 10, damn near 99% of them was failures. You know what I'm saying? So just saying no can literally save your life. Yeah. Even if you in life, you in the streets. Niggas might come to you with a mission or, hey, man, we finna go. Nah, I got a bad feeling about that one. I'm good. Next day you wake up, these niggas that got man down or these niggas, you feel me? Now they fighting a hot one. Bro, just saying no can literally change your life. And people got to learn how to exercise that strength. Yeah. How y'all feel about that?
How you feel about that, Messiah?
Man, it is. You already basically just summed up everything. It ain't really too much to say after that.
Nah, nigga, you better put some philosophical spin on that. You feel me?
Ain't too much to say about that. Like you said, it is power in saying no. it's really more about power of making your choices and living by that. Like, you know what I mean? Thinking for yourself, not letting other people think for you. So I think that's where the power in saying no comes from. And like you said, it's just not running off the deep end on shit. Because I know sometimes you could be at points where you could just be a person that don't mind doing everything. You know what I mean? And that could be detrimental to yourself. Even though you had no problem saying no, but you probably got too many problems saying yes or just being with everything. So I think it just depends on where you're going and what you choose to define or where you headed for your life. That's going to determine all that.
This is what I say too. You know, when you say no to something like, hey, you want to go out tonight, or, you know, you want to smoke this, you want to do that, and you say no, and the people who like want you to say yes and they get upset when you say no, those people you got to watch out for, because they want you to be doormats. Really, at the end of the day, they want you to come along on that ride and do what they do, you know, or they try to hit you with the, oh, you trying to be different, or you trying to be, you know, shit like that. That's what people do when you say no. But you got to stand firm in your no, because, or people think, you know, they'll say you're mean or you're rude or whatever the case is, you're Debbie Downer or whatever if you say no. But I think a lot of people saying yes is because of instant gratification. Like, everybody wants the feeling now, and they're not really worried about what's to come later. You know what I mean? The results of or the you know, what will happen later because of the yes. And so, in my opinion, the more you say no, you know, the more you're able to say yes to the shit you really want to, if that makes sense. If you're just saying yes to everything, then I feel like 9 out of 10, you're doing a whole bunch of shit you don't want to do. If you're saying no to more things than you're saying yes, then when something comes along that really intrigues you and you really want to do, you're going to do it, and you're going to do it with 110%. And I feel like a lot of people go through life just saying yes, 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 not really giving their full effort because they don't really want to do something. Instead of just saying no, you know, hey, this isn't for me, I'm not supposed to be here, or I'll get back to you, whatever the case is. But we do have to be more okay with saying no, and fuck the ridicule for saying it. That's how I look at it too. Everybody now is so afraid to get canceled or to get, you know, made fun of, or to be like, ah, man, you're not cool. You feel me? Because you didn't say yes. But really, I'm just different, or you're just different, and people got to be more okay with that. So I'm the type of nigga, I say no all the time, because it's just like, I'm not gonna do anything I don't want to do. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Or point blank, period. Like, and maybe sometimes it could be stubbornness a little bit, and you gotta, you know, change your view and realize maybe I should have said yes. But most of the times when you trust your gut and you say no, you know, you never regret it. I don't think you ever regret it.
Nah, yeah, I feel like that's where the power coming from. Like you say, just affirming more no's than yeses, because now you're not feeling bad, because people can guilt trip you into trying to get you to say yes. You say no, now they want to start saying certain shit to get you to say yes and change your mind. You know what I mean? That's where I think the power and no come from. And like you said, if people feel some type of way, fuck them at the end of the day, because
ain't not your real people. Yeah.
No, because respect my no's the same way you respect my yeses. You know what I mean? It ain't no problem when I'm telling you yes, but the minute I tell you no, now you want to change up on me. So if they can't respect your no's the same way they respect your yeses, they don't need to be around you anyway. That's how I look at it.
I think no is like, it's a muscle you got to work out. You got to get stronger at it, and you do got to like train to say no, because for a lot of people it's hard to say no. But the more you do it, the better you get at it. You know what I mean? And that's just, it's very key, especially as a man. You can't say yes to everything. You just can't, because you will get ran over. And at what point do you got to, you know, scale back and take care of yourself? You know what I mean? Or worry about yourself. Saying yes to everybody, okay, then at the end of the day, you don't say yes to everybody but yourself. But facts. Yourself. You haven't said yes to yourself. Because when you're saying yes to going out and partying, you're saying yes to doing the drugs and fucking with the multiple women and spending the money, all you're really doing is saying no to yourself. Then you get to the end of the day and you haven't done anything for yourself because you were too busy pleasing others. You don't want to look up in 20, 30 years and have pleased everybody but yourself. That's a fucked up life to live. You know what I mean? Bars. So start saying no more, man.
Bars.
That's how I look at it.
Listen, I totally agree 100%, man. No is discipline. And to succeed in life, you have to be disciplined. Yeah. Just like you said, you saying yes to everybody, you saying no to yourself. And at the same time, you could be ruining people by saying yes. Just like your kids. I mean, imagine everything your kid asks, you say yes. How much dumb shit do your kid ask to do in a day? Shit. You feel me? Every day. You saying no is detrimental to them succeeding in life and teaching them character traits, positive character traits, and XYZ. So yeah, like you said, it's like a muscle type of thing. Like you got to work at it and to perfect it, really. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not easy to go against peer pressure. It's not easy to be the black sheep, to stand out and get the ridicule. But like we always say, even with the content, they might hate it now, but years later,
they'll see what's up.
They gonna see the truth. The truth goes like, damn, they was right the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to withstand the storm. But start saying no, man.
Even on a bigger scale, though, you got to better tell yourself no.
Yeah.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Because, like you say, overeating or just doing certain shit could be fucking yourself up. You just had 5 Snickers and more candy and all type of shit. Like, you just telling yourself yes to everything. You done had hella fast food meals or whatever the case it may be. You know what I mean? And things that ain't good for you. Like you say, that next drink or that next this or that next that. Just be able to tell yourself no when it comes to disciplining yourself, I believe, with your spending habits and all that type of shit.
It's it was something I sent y'all earlier on Twitter. I don't know if y'all seen that because we were just talking about kids. About there was a little girl, she was kind of twerking or whatever, and her dad popped her.
That was terrible.
And you know, people are he's receiving backlash for it really because he popped her because she was twerking to some music or whatever. How y'all feel about that? Like, in my opinion, that just shows how absent men are in a lot of these children's lives. Because in my household, that ain't gonna fly.
See,
you're not finna be 7 years old backing it up.
I don't want to just cut you off because that man was present in that life. You know what I mean? So by him smacking her, he was able to. It was really just a tap just to let her know like this ain't what you need to be doing.
Yeah.
But the influence of these damn phones is what I can blame that on because he could be a father in that house, but she's on the phone recording, probably looking at a video twerking.
True.
And he's walking through doing his house duties as a man, and now he catches her doing that by accident. You know what I mean? And no telling how long she was doing that because the way he reacted in the right way. And the only backlash should be the backlash on the people that's going against him in the first place. Because as a man raising his daughter, and he does what he does to correct her, he didn't beat her or do nothing. He's just correcting her in life as a man's supposed to do, especially with a little girl. You know what I mean? So anybody else thought he should have did different or mad about what he's doing, he need to be like, fuck them anyway. You know what I mean? Because what they talking about obviously don't matter because what she's doing is out of control.
I didn't really think of it like that, though, that like a father could be there and a mother could be there and it's still the phone that's really still raising these kids up to a certain degree. Like they're learning a lot of this shit on the phone and then they're going, you know, in real life and they're emulating it. I just thought that the reaction showed how we're okay with promiscuity at a young age. And we think, you know, a lot of us, I feel like a lot of women think that shit is cute. And it's not cute. It's not cute for your daughter to in my opinion, to have a face full of makeup at 6 years old, 7 years old, be twerking and trying to be like the rappers and shit like that at a very little age.
Yeah, that's out.
It's not okay because kids don't really understand what they're doing. A little girl might twerk and in her mind it's just dancing.
Exactly.
But to an older person, that ain't just dancing. That's something sexual. That's getting somebody aroused or it's putting you in a certain box. Especially with black women. They're already looked at as more promiscuous just because of the color of their skin. So it's like we have to be very careful about what we praise in our community with our children, especially our daughters. I just don't think that it's okay, and I think that promiscuity is too praised right now, and it's looked at as something that's just fun and whatever the case is. But you know, when you get out in the world and then you do it, you might have a different reaction. And so that's why I say shout out to that father for doing that because that's gonna let her know. You know, there's a man here saying, hey, don't do that. Instead of just somebody being like, go ahead. Because you know what I mean? A lot of kids you see like that, go ahead. They be the ones that be destructive already at 16, 17, 18, don't know what to do because they have been raised a certain way with no morals, no home training. And I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is. And so if you are a pops, you know, and you catch your daughter doing something like that, I don't think there's nothing wrong with popping her and being like, hey, man, not yet. At least I'm not saying, you know, be a nun, like don't ever do this in your life. I don't ever, you know, but not yet. You too little. You feel what I'm saying?
Nah, he got to break down to her
what
it
is.
Why it's
exactly.
wrong. Yeah.
Listen, spare the rod, spoil the child. That was the father exercising the power of no live and direct. We in this soft, sensitive era where everything offends everybody and soft parenting. Like, bro, that shit don't work. It works to a certain degree. Like I said, the discipline needs to be there physically at times. But like the soft parenting part of it is when you breaking down why I'm disciplining you.
I whooped your ass.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's where our parents' generation lack. It's like when you got your ass whooped, they just whooped your ass and that was it. Go in the room. It was no breakdown. So something like that where he like, hey, that's out. Like, blah, blah, blah. This is why. Now, I don't even know how. I seen the video. Yeah. I can't recall how old she was, if she was old enough to even have it broken down to her for her to even understand at that point. But listen, there's nothing wrong with disciplining a child. You look in the animal kingdom, all animals do it. You feel me? Yeah. It's nothing wrong with disciplining a child. It's just the way you do it, and make sure you're not crossing that line between discipline and abuse, like where you physically causing damage and harm to the child, where they really got to go to the hospital or some shit. But nah, man, we in this generation where they're trying to take the rights away from parents. Where they're literally telling parents, you can't even discipline your kid. We decide what happens to your kid. And we're seeing the effects of that slowly. It's like, all right, everybody is against, quote unquote, whooping their kid. Kids is the most out of control they ever been. And like I said, they got, like you said, they're being raised by these electronics. Like I call them electronic zombies. Like kid 2 years old working the damn iPad better than me. Already. So we need that discipline factor back in society, and it starts in the home. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these problems and this gender identity confusion is due to the soft parenting error, and people afraid to say no and stand on something, to where you got a little girl who wants to, you know, practice 3 or 4 lifestyle because she saw it on Instagram, and you're not being a parent and explaining why this is bad. Or you might got your son playing, like I'm seeing this a lot. Women got their sons playing with lipstick and putting like on dresses and weirdo shit.
And
it's
don't
like,
think it contributes to them growing up to be a certain way.
Bro, that's a part of this soft parent. Oh, he just needs to learn. You know, he's curious. You know, let's see if he likes it or if he... No, fuck that. You a boy growing to be a man. That shit is wrong. That's parenting. It's part of you to guide them. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like they're trying to erase gender roles in society. Now, this is the excuse a lot of these 304 moms are giving. Oh, well, we black. That's our culture back in Africa. Like, you know, we dance, we do, which we do, and kids do those dances. But you got to realize that's a tribal thing. They're not doing it on Instagram for likes to sexualize themselves. This has a meaning behind these dances. So to compare yourself to that, and you're in a Western society, no, that's out. You're not getting away with that. Get the fuck out of here. That's disrespectful to them. Even comparing that, like, we know the difference. So yeah, shout out to Pops. Pops that did that. Shout out to you. You doing your job, bro.
And I think, you know, kind of going back to the electronic zombies, it's like everywhere, you know, kids turn when they're outside of the home, it's kind of like whatever's going on outside of home, they're trying to get the kids to go against their parents in a way. Like, you get to school and then maybe your parents whip on you and now they telling you that's not good. Or you got, you know, TikTok and things like that telling you it's okay for you to do this, and you know this is what's wrong. And I think a lot of parents succumb to it too, and it kind of goes back into being, you know, having the power to say no, because I think a lot of parents want to be tough, but then they get met with that, well, none of the other parents are doing it, so let me just go ahead and fall back. But I don't think it's nothing wrong with being old fashioned, if that's even what we want to call it. I think it's just the right and the wrong way to do it.
Why is these kids having phones at 5, 6, 7 years old?
Make no sense.
That, to me, that don't make no sense. It's nothing they need to be doing on the damn phones. They need a video game, buy them a video game. Other than that, I feel like we saying the kids is lazy, the parents is lazy too, because they giving them these phones and they running off in the room, leave me alone. You know what I mean? And then you getting shit like that's going on because they kids is bored. They not outside. They not doing nothing else. They on these electronic phones and they stuck on that shit 24/7. Down there, I have a tantrum, you take it away. You know what I mean? So it's just like, that shit don't make no sense. But yeah, on to the next topic.
Okay, look, this is my stance, and I'm standing on it. I don't care who don't like it. I don't care about the backlash. This has nothing to do with any hate or anything. It's just the truth. They, whatever you want to call them, trying to erase gender roles in society is slowly destroying society. Neo just caught some flashback of some flack for speaking on something just like this, saying he doesn't believe kids should be able to transition and change their sex, which I 100% agree. I'm standing with Neo on that 100%. Anybody that think otherwise, you's a weirdo. Facts. But yeah, we need gender roles, and they're low-key trying to blur the lines. And now society is getting real tricky where the lines is almost getting blurred to where they're trying to blur the age line. Like there's no difference between an adult.
Yeah, that's what's next.
Yeah,
that's what's next.
Yeah, first we get rid of the gender. Now it's cool for a man to go marry a 12-year-old. Like they're trying to sneak that pedophilia shit in. Like, bro, it's getting tricky. How y'all feel about that?
I absolutely agree. And I even like how Neo, you know, because a lot of people be giving out these fake ass apologies, but I like how Neo came out and said, look, man, if I get canceled, you know, I'll go back to working if I got to. I got kids. I'm going to stand on this. I'm going to stand 10 toes on, you know, the take of, I don't think that kids should be able to transition at a young age. And I think that's 100% true. I think the reason why they're trying to blur the gender roles is because they, you know, obviously a man that is powerful, you know, and has control of his family, number one, is going to build good children that, you know, have a good head on their shoulders. They have direction. So when you blur the gender roles, if you don't know if you're a man, if you don't know you're a woman, then it's almost like you're blurring what routes you need to take, how you need to go somewhere. Because if you are not even within yourself, you know, knowledgeable of who you are, how can you go and be knowledgeable of what you even want to do in this life? And believe it or not, oh, what are just kids? It starts at that age. It starts at that fucking age. And so we do have to understand that. And it's attack. And I really look at it as an attack on men, because the more men you take out of society, the weaker society gets. And that's what you're seeing today. You know, a whole bunch of softer men that are not able to lead. And in turn, this is what you're getting. This is what you're seeing out there in these streets and on TikTok and Instagram. A lot of it is the result of softer men and a softer generation. And they're trying to do that because they want the control or to keep control. So you got some of us that's waking up. You know, we like, fuck that. We men, we rocking this way and only this way. And then you got others that, like I said, are more, well, we don't know. The lines are blurred. But I don't understand. And it could also be because of the feminist agenda, wanting to blur the lines and making it an equal thing. But at the end of the day, I don't think anybody benefits from it, especially not men. And we need men. And so blurring the gender roles, that's to me what it's doing. It's just taking us out of it. And we're at a point in time where we need men more now than ever. And so if you are raising young boys, you know, I don't think it's anything wrong with raising them to be men. Why go and confuse a kid and be like, well, you could be a boy, but you could be a girl too? Why? Like, you know what I mean? I would just put my son, as a parent, I'm going to take my child and I'm going to put them in the direction I want them to go. Point blank, period. And now whatever, you know, transpires after that is somewhat out of your control. But if you're already giving up to the government and to society when your child is 6, 7 years old, you're not really warranted to parent anyway. Because then how are you a parent? You get what I'm saying?
All of this is designed to remove you from being self-conscious, like reaching your highest level of inner consciousness. The more you don't know who you are, like you said, the more you don't know where you're going, the more you spend life confused, asking yourself, oh, am I a boy, am I a girl? Or, you know, does a man have to do this? Or you just confused, and it's taking you away from your true purpose. Like I was seeing on YouTube and TikTok, like they'll have people go out to like indigenous tribes or out to where they're detached from society and electronics and all these agendas and ask them, hey, can a boy be a girl? Can a girl? They like, what the fuck are you talking about?
We
like,
talked about it.
Or they like, do you have trans in your village? They don't even know what that is. But they're so in tune with the world around them. It's crazy. Like like a couple dudes, like they went to live with one of these tribes for a couple weeks and they had no phone, no nothing, no outside influence. He was like, for the first couple of days, I was like, I was going crazy. Like I just kept picking up my phone even though I couldn't use it. But he said after that first week, it was like all my depression, all my problems, everything went away. I got so in tune with nature and so in tune with myself. He's like, that was the one moment in my life where I truly understood who I was. Like there was no self-doubt, nothing. Just being around these people and seeing they are at complete peace and happiness with what we consider nothing. To them, it's everything. He was like, you need to come to America with me. They're like, why? Ain't that the place where people kill themselves and kill their families and kids? Like, why the hell we want to go there? Like, that was mind-blowing to me. And that just shows you the deeper we get connected with this, the more we get disconnected with each other. We damn near like androids now. We damn near like bro, we are part technology now. Like, think about that. Like, for real, you wake up in the morning, you grab your phone. All day you on the phone. You either on the phone or the laptop. You can do nothing in 2023 without a phone or laptop in society. You are part technology now. Like, we are the furthest away from being human as we ever have been. Like, women are thinking they're men thinking they women. Like, bro, society is fucked right now. And platforms like this is help getting it back. Because we are stomped down 100% on the gender roles. Men are men, women are women. There's certain roles that women gotta play. There's certain roles that men gotta play. Point blank, period. There ain't no way around it.
How you feel about it? He like, man. He about to
I get passionate about this shit, man, because this shit crazy.
I ain't got too much. It's like, at the end of the day, like you say, whatever you born with, that's what you is. I don't agree on none of that shit. I mean, when you get grown,
do what you do.
Yeah, do what you do, especially when the kids, like I said, don't force that on the kids. Don't make them think nothing different. Stop confusing them and stop with all that shit. But at the end of the day, even if you grown, I don't think that should be allowed. Like, it's been times where motherfuckers then did shit with them trannies and then fuck around and killed them. You know what I mean? So it's like, that shit is dangerous in general. But like I said, you grown, I guess do what you do. But the kids, I don't agree with that. Like, far as gender roles, even allowing them to even think that way.
And that's what I like what Neo said, because we're living in a generation now where you cannot have your own opinion or you getting killed for it if it's opposite of what the majority is saying, you know? And I like how he said, my kids, this is how they're going to be raised. However y'all want to raise y'all kids, y'all do that. By all means, y'all do that. But I shouldn't be ridiculed because this is the way I'm raising my kids, especially if I'm not harming them, if I'm not traumatizing them or nothing like that. You know, we're so at a point right now where opposite means negative. You know what I mean? And that's a problem, because if opposite is negative, you know, then if everybody just goes with the flow, I just don't see how that's beneficial. Live your life the way you want to. And I hope we stray away from that. Of if I got an opposite opinion of you, you don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you, or I'm looking at you like a tyrant or some crazy shit because of an opposite opinion. We have to get more in tune. And I think a lot of us who are, you know, more into free thinking understand that it's okay to disagree on things, and we can still, you know, come together and I guess even learn from one another when it comes to the opposites, right? Like, I don't know. But as soon as I'm calling you a tyrant, or I'm saying you're negative, or you should be canceled because you have an opposite opinion, you're not even listening to me. So I just find it weird that we're living in that kind of time where everybody has to agree. And if you don't, you're bad. I think we should just chalk it up to it's a disagreement. I don't agree with that. I'm not rocking with my son at 7, 8 years old wanting to be a girl. You know what I mean? And I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. Like, me, point blank period. I just don't think that there's nothing wrong with it.
Experience being a man first before you get to talking about you want to be a girl, or Lil Johnny want to be a girl. Lil Johnny ain't even got no vagina yet. He don't know. Like, you know
Balls
what I'm saying?
Ain't even dropped.
You got full-blown adults that's making these sex changes, and a couple years later regretting what they did and offing themselves. So imagine what that does psychologically to a kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? If a full-blown adult can't handle this, what do you think the mind of it, like, you know, they haven't even developed any type of maturity in their mind yet, and you think they can just decide to be the whole opposite gender? Is like, it's insane to me. And the fact that we got full-blown adults agreeing with this
is wild.
Is even more insane. It's going back to they cloned Tyrone, to where they are cloning people to aligning with this society. Like, I didn't think that many people agree with it until I started doing content, and people started really like
killing me for it.
Bro, I swear to God, I thought like, man, there's some TV shit. People are really like this.
Oh yeah.
It shit is mind blowing. But this is why platforms like this gotta voice our views, whether we get canceled or whatever. listen, I'll take the hate. You feel me? They call me the villain for a reason. So, yeah, I'm always standing on what I believe in. But
they want our kids, man. That's what we got to understand and see. You know, none of us should, well, all of us should raise our children the way we want to. Point blank, period. And when the government and agendas and shit like that gets involved into your parenting, to me, you're losing. You know, because again, you're taking something from somebody else and you're inputting it into your kid's life by force, not by choice. And so when we do that, we got to understand, you know, the ramifications of that. And if you're a parent and you want your kids to be a certain way, then you got to put them towards that. But grown men and grown women agreeing that gender roles should be blurred, in my opinion, are fucked up individuals.
Facts.
And they obviously struggle. You know what I mean? And so a lot of it is they want the kids to struggle too. Even though they don't think they struggle, they think, oh, this is the right way to go. And, you know, nah, man, you were confused as a child. So now you want to pass that down to other children. You didn't know what you wanted to do, or you were in fear, or you were hiding. Now you want other kids to have the same type of thing as a child. And, you know, with technology, even with the schooling system, everything, this is just a new thing that they're trying to get to kids young, you know? I don't know what it was with our gen, it was social media, right? But this is the next thing. What do you want to be? You want to be a boy? You want to be a girl? Or shit, you want to be both? Or you want to be an NPC? Like, it's what do you want to be? Whatever you want to be, you could be, you know? And to a certain degree, that's great. But to me, more times than not, is negative.
They went from wanting to be superheroes and shit to wanting to don't know if you were girl
like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, oh God,
you know?
That's crazy.
And parents, man, y'all like y'all are so soft. Y'all got kids. Oh, he's gluten free and shit like this at 6 years old. Like all of this little shit that y'all do, it's really just making your children weaker, bro. Like that's all it's doing. If you go and every time a boy cry because he got a boo boo on his arm, you go and just baby every time. You creating a grown ass baby. You feel me?
Yeah,
you gotta. Y'all
Dion
gotta
just talked about that. How the men is. The kids is being
soft.
raised so soft. The boys is being raised so soft.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah, we got to change that, man.
Get out there and knuckle up. Do something. Like, y'all got to figure it out. I don't know what to tell parents that's raising their kids soft, but the world ain't soft. So it's like you're raising these kids that aren't ready for this society that has racism, classism. You feel me? Different things. And when they get out there in the world and their parent is not a minute away from them where they're able to go and get that, you know, consoling, this is why you see what you're seeing right now. So, and we wasn't raised like that. So it's just, you know, we got to raise our kids stronger, man.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Look, hold on. How much time we got?
We got like, let me see right now. We got like 13.
All right. Yeah. Cause this is totally off topic.
Oh, let's get to it though.
This is totally off. It's kind of on topic, but it's kind of off topic because men are being shamed for being men with this topic. I want to shout out Joey Swole. He doing a hell of a job by helping to kill this, but this female thirst trap culture in the gyms is getting completely out of hand. Like I said, once again, shout out Joey Swole because he's been catching them. You know, where the women is coming damn near naked, like looking like strippers in the gym. Basically, they're doing all this thirst trapping, all this crazy stretches, and you know, purposely for the content because they're getting paid off the content. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to be mad at them because men are enabling it by paying them for the content, but. They're basically like, they'll get a guy like, you know, you'll see her doing a crazy stretch and she damn near got nothing on. He'll take a glance. They'll post him up like, look at this pervert and blah, blah, blah. And then you get shamed for it. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, where do we draw the line with that?
Niggas is going to look. That's for one. And I've been going to the gym. I mean, I've been in and out of gyms due to sports and shit like that since I was young. Since I was, maybe like 15, 16. So I remember at a point in time in the gym where girls was not dressing like that.
Bro, I swear to God.
They was not dressing like that.
They was not.
Now look, grown-ass women, do what you do. But you have to understand that dudes and men are going to look, you know, when you're dressed a certain way in the gym. Point blank, period. And yes, men could still look at you if you're dressed fully clothed. But I bet you a dub that they won't look as long, or they won't take as many looks, or they won't, you know, peel your clothes off with their eyes if you have a certain attire on. And in a gym, you know, it's not frowned upon. But if a nigga walk around with a shirt off, he's getting kicked out. Facts. But you could be almost in a fucking thong, you know, doing squats, and that's okay. And then on top of that, you got to say, oh, well, and nobody could look either. or I'm on you, or you're a pervert. Nobody could look. I could come in here in a thong and a bra, and nobody could look. How is that fair? Y'all tell me, how's that even fair on that type of point? Now, I'm not saying, you know, assault her with your eyes, but you can't tell you coming in here and exactly you hitting this damn stretch, somebody not gonna turn over and look.
Listen, man, y'all and these motherfucking tripods, y'all gotta chill out. Like, I know everybody want to be a content creator, the next big thing, but it's getting to a point where it's more tripods than gym equipment in the gyms. Like, man, then like you said, you wearing these small ass shorts. You doing your squats, and then you put the tripod right under your ass where it catch the gooch and the fucking vagina line, like, perfectly. And then if a nigga look, he a pervert, he a this, he a that. Like, no, if you come dressed like that, men are gonna look, men are gonna approach you. Take the good with the bad. Yeah. You getting paid off your content, cool, whatever, do your thing. I'm not hating on your hustle, I'm not knocking it. But don't get mad and upset or try to make men look like perverts or fools because they looking or they approaching you. Yeah. Like, if I come to the gym and pull up in a motherfucking Lamborghini and jump out with a briefcase full of money, the gold diggers is coming. I ain't gonna be mad at it. But bitch, you in the gym naked, we looking. Point blank, period. And shout out Joey Swole, too, man. I love that nigga content. Shout out Joey Swole.
Not only that, but it's like you said, you making content. So you telling me that 50,000 motherfuckers that you don't know could look at you online. Crazy. But the one nigga that look a little bit in person is the pervert? Come on now. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's the case, then you need to be getting online and telling the niggas that's watching your shit they're perverts too, but you're not because you're getting paid off.
Getting paid off it, exactly.
So it's like, if that's what you're doing, nobody's saying that you deserve to be disrespected, and I think that's where they take it. A glance is not disrespectful. It's not. He didn't come up and, you know what I mean, get a handful of that ass. He didn't do nothing crazy. Like, he just looked. You get what I'm saying? No, it's not disrespectful to look. Men are gonna look. Women look too all the time. So it's like, that's where they're trying to make the argument, you know, is it's disrespectful to even look. But it was a point in time where your mama would tell you, hey, it's disrespectful to come out the house like that. So
right, they know what they doing coming out the house like that. All that shit be bullshit. You coming out like that, you know niggas finna be approaching you. You know what I mean? So I really don't sympathize too much with that, but like you said, it do be weirdos in the gym. But it's rare. Most people come in there really coming in there to get their money. Other than that, stop coming out the house like that. At the end of the day, like you said, content, go do some content in your fucking, at a park in your backyard or something. That shit be bullshit, but yeah, just stop coming to the gym like that.
Yeah, I don't think we should be ridiculed for this, man. You know, and I don't think women should be ridiculed for making that kind of content. If that's what you want to do, make your money, baby, but understand that niggas are going to look and just, I mean, if nobody's being disrespectful, then really what can you do? And it needs to be a law in these gyms. If you come and zoom up on my face looking at, you know what I mean? I need a cut or something because you just done went viral off me. You know what I mean? Looking over this way, I need 20% cut or something, bro. It's ridiculous. You shouldn't even be able to film like that.
We
in the
can make
gym.
this content together.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's what you want to do.
That's the case. Like, so I don't know, man, but it's funny, you know.
I blame the, like I said, I'm ending on this. I blame the men. We can't even get mad at the women because they doing what men are allowing. You simp sucker ass niggas that's paying for this content is the reason why they doing it. If they was putting this content up, getting no views off it, no money off it, they just online just posting themselves all sexualized and getting no benefit from it, it would stop. Yeah. But the fact, like you said, they're getting paid, they're getting views, they're getting flown out, they're getting this, they're getting that. How can you be mad at them? You're fueling it. You are fueling it. Like, I doubt it's women paying women to see that. Like, it's men, right? You know what I'm saying?
I think
men
so.
who can't get access to these women in real life, so the computer is the closest they can get. So we low-key got to blame the men because they fueling the behavior. But, I mean, I love it. It gives me motivation, you know what I'm saying? If bitch come in half naked, sweat going down a crack her ass, I'm going to do a couple more sets. You feel me? But
I think that's true, man. I think
look,
I think that's true. For real. And we'll see what happens. I fuck with Joey Swole too because he brings you know, he brings more than just that. You know, people making fun of people and shit like that too. But this is a really big thing, and it has been for a while now. And like you said, men are enabling it. So, hey, man, you know, us as men, we need to be more, I guess, stronger. We need to have more self-control, you know, and understand the games that these ladies are playing. Do you want to be on the camera? If you don't, then don't look, even if you want to. Because at that point, you playing into her game. Because that's what she wants. And then when you do it, they're going to say that's not what they wanted. Certain women. So I'm just saying, like, we have to be stronger and smarter and understand that these are games that some of these content creators are playing, and don't fall into that trap. you know?
Yeah, for sure. So like I said, take the good with the bad. Stop airing out men. Stop, quote unquote, exposing men, and stop getting mad when people walk in front of your shit. Because that's crazy. You're in a public space. I'm seeing a lot of those videos too, like all this jackass, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm the jackass that's going to walk in front of your shit. Yeah. Understand you in the public space. Hey, people going to walk in front of your shit. It is what it is. Edit it out.
If that's where I got to get through, like if that's where I got to go to get through, best believe I'm walking right in front of that tripod. And don't be in front of don't be in front of the weights either. Right in front of the weights, lifting. In front of the like, come on, bro. You getting walked all in front of. So people that's just people thinking they own the gym and own shit. And again, people thinking that we're supposed to, you know, live our life around them.
Right.
Like that shit is selfish and that shit got to stop. So
main character syndrome is what they call it.
Man, it's whack. It's whack. But yeah, we about to close it out. I want to say thank you guys again for coming. You already know it's always a good one when we link up.
Always.
Any last words y'all got, Messiah?
Man, go follow me at Dez Peter Messiah.
Man,
bro, that nigga music. Hey, look, you can follow us. Follow the platform on Instagram at the @_podcast. Follow the one and only your host that do the most. You already know, Mr._viral with 3 eyes. _ himself. You feel me? It's a lot of imposters and shit out there. That's why I had to put the 3 eyes on it. Yeah, but it is a deeper meaning behind the 3 eyes. But you feel me? I'll wait till we get on the, you know.
I'm gonna come back to the home.
Exactly. Expose that. You feel me? Hey, shout out my boy, Cali the One, man. You know, man. This is one of the few content creators, you feel me, that I feel ain't out here clout chasing for fame. Like my niggas dropping real knowledgeable content that the streets need, that the people need, that's real educational, that's raising your vibration, your frequencies. And I can appreciate that because in the game of content, the name of the game is views by any means. Where these niggas is doing anything. These niggas is faking beefs and faking deaths. And bro, it's just the limit that people go for views is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. You come over here to Disorderly Konduct, the viral way, we ain't got to do none of that. It's real content. None of this is scripted. We not faking for no views. We ain't selling our soul. None of that. So if you want the real or some high power shit, tap in, man, the viral way.
For real, man. That's for real. Good looking for that, because that's how we try to be. You know, we try to stay loyal to the soil. You feel me? But with that being said, I want to say thank you guys again for coming out.
No, we appreciate it.
Of course, you already said you didn't have no last words. You said follow. He said run it. He said run it up. He said run it up. Run it up.
Hey, you better get a tripod, nigga. You feel me?
Hey, man. But yeah, man, it's Collab the One, man. If you guys are watching this, please like and subscribe. Again, thank you guys for all the love, all the hate. This is Disorderly Konduct times the Viral Way podcast. I don't know where y'all going, but you got to get the hell up out of here.
Ain't no handouts, I did it from the ground up. In the streets, thugging hardest where they found us. Got a problem, nigga, watch my troopers mount up. My bitch a thing too, and you a lame though. You niggas ain't outside, yeah, we came through. You want your lights up, we put you on the shade.